Hello, and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. So we are here currently on the shorter time frame chart for BTC. As you probably know, if you followed previous updates, Bitcoin is likely moving up now at the moment in this B wave to the upside or wave 3. I explained in the last video update that we can't really tell the difference between the two, whether this is a B wave, as shown in orange, or it's a third wave as shown in white. Yeah, we can't really tell the difference right now. And also we don't really need to do that because it's really about, okay, can we hold support? And as long as we're holding support, the move to the upside can continue. The idea was that because of the standard Fibonacci extensions which are relevant, here wave A, here wave C, we should get to the 100% extension at the very least. At the very least. And so this 100% extension is relevant, or became really relevant, when we broke above initial resistance a few days ago. I've since then removed this. It became then even clearer with a break above the high of last week, which formed here around $114,130. Which was also around our resistance level here, which I've also removed because we don't need it anymore. Yeah, I want to keep the levels on the chart that we really need only. So I've just removed that support area as well because we don't need it anymore, right? And so the idea is now, because we are completely, we completely broke out above at least the previous resistances. The door is open to 117,611. Now, there is only one more level that needs to be broken before we can get there. And that's the 115,883 level. Shouldn't be a new one. We have talked about it, but it's been on the chart for, I don't know, a few weeks now. It's the 61.8 retracement of the last decline that started in October at the all-time high, when Bitcoin reached $126,300 roughly. Yeah. We started the decline, and this could be the corrective bounce. So it's also important to understand that this is not only Fib resistance, it's also where we have the previous swing high from the 13th of October. Again, also this was mentioned. It's just a resistance level. For now, the pullback though doesn't look clearly impulsive. So I think the uptrend, the local uptrend, can continue. By the way, the Nasdaq looks very, very similar at the moment. And I just don't trust this move fully. So it could really just be a B wave. So the question is, what happens if we break below this, or if we break support and it really is a B wave? It's difficult to say where that C wave decline would then land. We'll see that better on the larger time frame, but we'll cover that probably later today. But the thing is, I can't really give you a target for the C wave decline because it really depends on how high the B wave goes. Let's imagine the B wave goes close to all-time high. Then the C wave might never break below the October low, okay? It really depends on where the B wave tops. B waves don't really have targets. They have standard resistances. This here is an internal target area, based on the internal structure ABC, but still it's within a B wave, and B waves are really, really the most difficult waves to predict. Now, it's entirely possible we're dealing with a third wave here, which again should take us to round about $120,313. Can go higher, absolutely. This would be the very first minimum target, but my first ideal target is actually the 138% extension, not the 123.6. The 138% extension at 122K, that is really the very first ideal target for a third wave. So let's see if we can actually get there. The micro support area that can get us there, is 113,774. This is the very first support area that's on the chart here. A break below can lead to a test of these previous swing lows, but this is the Fib support area that needs to hold to keep this impulse alive, because it seems like we're moving in a local impulse. Can you see the structure, the structural difference if you compare this with all of this choppy mess here? You have very deep pullbacks. I mean, at the moment, this here looks impulsive. The move up from the 22nd of October low, whereas this year was at best a diagonal structure. So this is interesting because it tells us the difference in sentiment. Yeah, here the bears were stronger, yeah, in this entire move because the setbacks were stronger, there were overlaps, whereas here the bulls are more clearly winning. Now that will happen, or that will change at some point. And we know that this is changed when we break the first support. So I'll keep you updated. Any levels, of course, will be kept up to date. If you want to get live updates, feel free to also join MCO community. The MCO community, as a gold member, you get basically live updates on Discord. I'll keep you updated. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in additional updates, then make sure that you follow us on X as well for additional updates, charts, news, and much more. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.